Hello everyone. Let us talk about digital education. In the past 2 years, we all are aware of the COVID upsurge, and the digital education turned out to be a savior in this situation. When there were no offline classes going on, no schools were open, no exams were being conducted, then the online education, the digital education, turned out to be a savior in the complete scenario. But there are some issues to it also, because the access to technology in India right now is uh, is not up to the par. It is as less as the 25 to 30% only. So that is also a flip side of the coin. So let us talk about the advantages first. Number one advantage is the flexibility. The flexibility that ones get learning online is very high. Let's say that if someone has to learn a topic from online method, then he goes on any platform like YouTube, and one can easily and flexibly manage how he or she wants to learn, like changing the playback speed and uh, uh, and and revisiting the topic and ignoring some things that he or she might know earlier. So there is a lot of flexibility for the student. Also, there are a wide range of courses out there. In offline mode, there are a few options only. If someone is living in a city, then there are only few options where he or she might go. Some coaching centers and in school there are only a few options. But in online mode, there are hundreds of options. One topic is covered by hundreds of teachers, and the best of the best courses are there online from which one can learn. So this clearly indicates an advantage for the digital education. Also, the cost effectiveness. So in offline mode, the cost of education is very high because there is a certain level of infrastructure required. The schools are running, there is a building, there is electricity, water in the school. But in online mode, there is not a great amount of infrastructure is required, so the cost really goes low. So that is why digital education is very cost effective, and the return on investment is very high in digital education. Another benefit is the comfortability. A person can learn with his or her comfort at any time given. He or she can learn in the bed, sitting in the bed, and also on the chair anywhere, while traveling also. So comfortability is a lot. So that is why the online and digital education is is a very good option for students. But there is a flip side of the coin also, because there are some drawbacks. Like number one, there is not a healthy environment. The interactiveness is very low. As we can see in the offline medium, when there is a lot of interactiveness with the teacher and the fellow classmates also, and the teamwork and learning the concepts together, the complete environment is very healthy for learning. But in the offline mode, the things are more monotonous, that one person is speaking and one is listening. There is no interactiveness. And so that is why many of the students are not able to cope up with online education. So this is a drawback. And another drawback is the health issues. So there are a lot of health issues with the online education, because in the offline education, the student has to go to the school by any means, and they maybe walk there, they some kind of sitting and speaking and standing up, all kinds of physical activities are involved. But in online education, a person is sitting on his desk, and the eye constraint is very high. The student is focusing on the screens for hours long, and that is very that turns out to be very disastrous for their eyes. And also the posture is not the posture is not good. If we if we compare from offline mode, then in offline mode, when the students used to sit in front of teachers, then uh, then there were then due to maintain the decorum and to maintain the discipline, the students sit with the straight, the students used to sit straight. But in the online mode, as no one is monitoring, so the posture goes down to be really disastrous, and that is why a lot of back pain is there in young kids. So, and the eye problems have risen very much. And also the obesity, almost all the kids have big or have gained some fat, some weight in the past 2 years because of their because they are not going to schools and colleges, the education institutions. So this is also a matter of concern. Another matter of concern is the accessibility, because online education needs some amount of infrastructure from the student side, like an internet connection or any smartphone or tablet or computer. But not all of the students are able to gather up such gadgets, and that is why there is not an equality of education. This is also a matter of concern, and a huge matter of concern, because we all can see around us that the people living in slum, they are and where the slums, and many times in rural areas also, and also in urban areas, there are sometimes not even the basic utilities like electricity and all. So arranging such gadgets and internet connection is a very tedious task for them, and a very and that attacks on the that attacks on the pockets of the poor. So the government should work on this. They should provide internet and the required gadgets to the students who are not able to afford. And another thing is that there is almost no practical experience in online education, because in the offline education we all are aware that there were computer labs and chemistry, physics, biology lab, and there was sports, and sometimes the teacher used to bring some equipments in the class, and the whole interactive thing. So there is no practical experience. So that is why a very a very crucial pillar of education lacks out in online education. So this is also a thing that must be considered. So what is the conclusion? Where is the light? I think that online education is the future, and we should appreciate this, because it have a lot of benefits. If it is tackled nicely, then one can harvest a lot of benefits from online education. But there are certain things that the policymakers and the students on individual level can deal to, like the government can provide the access of online education to all by distributing smartphones or tablets to everyone, and providing free internet to those who are not able to afford. So that will be uh, a very fund exhaustive thing, but the government has to do it, because the poor ones not able to get education violates the constitution, which indicates that there should be equality of education also. So so this is a thing that government should look up to. And another thing is that practical inclusion should be there in the classes, and the classes must be made more interactive. There should not be one side monotonous sound, but the classes should be made more interactive. For that, the number of students in a class must be reduced, and more number of teachers should be employed. So that is how classes will become more interactive, and the overall learning experience will increase for the students. And so that was all about digital education. Thank you very much.